Okay, 6th grade. So one of the first takeaways about adverbs, don't forget an adverb is a word that modifies either a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Okay, these are the three words that they are describing, more or less, is what modify means. So it's describing that, it's helping describe those type of words. And they answer the four main questions: how, when, where, and to what extent in sentences. So no matter what they're modifying, they're going to be answering one of those four questions. I would say roughly, because I'm not a math person, 90 to 95% of the time your adverbs are going to be modifying a verb. That's just plain and simple. And it has to be an action verb. And that other 5 to 10% of the time, it's going to be either an adjective or another adverb that it's modifying. And then it's only going to answer to what extent, because it's adding more to that adjective or adverb. Adverbs also typically end in ly for the most part, but not always. Like this first one here. Actually, there isn't an adverb in this one, so there's a hint. The first thing I want you to do when you're looking for an adverb is look for words with ly at the end. That's not always going to be the case, but the first thing you should do is look for a word with ly. This sentence, "There is a big sale at the mall," has 0 words with the word ly. The second thing you should do is look for the verb. Okay? You're looking for an action verb because only action verbs can be modified by an adverb. Here we see is our verb. Is not an action verb, it's a linking verb. So we can't have an adverb modifying a linking verb. And if you look at the rest of the sentence, there is a big sale at the mall. Big is an adjective, but there's nothing that goes into more detail about big. Sale is a noun, so it can't be modifying a noun. It can't be modifying mall. This is a location. It does answer the question where, but here, remember the paper airplane activity we did where we threw paper airplanes and you said where they landed? Okay, paper airplanes can land at the mall. So this becomes a prepositional phrase, so this can't be an adverb. Alright, so there are none in number 1. Number 2, people who shop wisely can save a great deal of money. Alright, first thing we're going to do, look for that ly word. Here we see wisely. Alright, now to figure out what word this is modifying, ask your 4 questions. Okay, we're going to start with the verb, shop. Shop how? Wisely. So we can answer that. So we know that wisely is an adverb and it is modifying the word shop. Alright, so number 2 was wisely. Number 3. Alright, Denise always goes to the sales. First thing we're going to do, look for that ly word. There are no ly words that end in ly in the sentence. Denise always goes to sales. Alright, so the second thing we need to do is look for our verb. Goes is our verb. So then we ask ourselves the 4 questions. Can we answer goes how? No. Go how doesn't exactly get answered here. Go when. She goes when? Always. She always goes. So always is our adverb and it's modifying goes. Alright. Number 4. In the past, she has been very lucky with her buys. Here we can see that there are no ly words. So then the second thing we do is look for action verbs. There are no action verbs in this sentence. Has been is not an action verb. It's a linking verb. It's a linking verb phrase. So here, our second thing to do is looking for action verbs. We don't have any. So then we need to look at adjectives and adverbs that could be in the sentence. All right, let's look at adjectives first. Right? She has been very lucky. Lucky is an adjective. It's describing her. It's telling us that she is lucky. Then, when we find an adjective, the only question we ask, because this is the only one that an adjective adverb could answer, or an adverb modifying an adjective could answer, she's lucky to what extent, or how lucky is she, how much lucky is she. That doesn't make sense, but it would in other cases. She is very lucky. So to what extent, very lucky. So here we have very modifying lucky. Very is our adverb, modifying an adjective lucky. Pro tip, very is always an adverb. No matter where it's at in a sentence, no matter how it's used in a sentence, the word very is always going to be an adverb, and it's telling you to what extent. She is very tired, he is very grumpy, they are very exhausted. Very always just gives more to what extent. Number 5, she bought a rather expensive necklace very cheaply. All right, so from the last one, number 4, I just told you very is always an adverb. So we know this is going to be one. All right. She bought a rather expensive necklace very cheaply. Look for the ly words. We see one ly word, cheaply. She bought a rather expensive necklace very cheaply. Okay, she bought how? Cheaply. Okay, so here cheaply is modifying bought. It's an adverb. Okay, to what extent? Very. So here's an adverb modifying another adverb. Okay, we have very, which is always an adverb, and cheaply. She bought it how? Cheaply. There is one more. This one's a little trickier. All right, so now that we have an adverb modifying a verb and an adverb modifying another adverb in the sentence, we're going to look at adjectives because that's what's left. She bought a rather expensive necklace very cheaply. Expensive is an adjective here. It's describing necklace. What kind of necklace? Expensive, or yes, expensive. Okay, to what extent? Rather. Rather is kind of a funny word. We don't hear it a lot anymore, but it's expensive to what extent? Rather. So instead of saying she bought a very expensive necklace very cheaply, which sounds redundant, they changed very to rather. So here is a third adverb modifying this adjective here, expensive. So our 3 in this sentence were rather, very, and cheaply. Number 6, she feels happy when she finds a real deal. Okay, first thing, look for an ly word. I don't see any words ending in ly in this sentence, so look for an action verb. She feels happy when she finds a real deal. Here, feels is being used as a linking verb. It's helping describe she is happy. That's what linking verbs do. So it's describing her as happy, which means this is a linking verb and this is an adjective. Our other verb is finds. There's an action verb. But here, after finds, you see deal, which is a noun, so that can't be an adverb. The only other one it could be, but it's not, is the word when. When does answer when, quite frankly, but here it's being used as a conjunction. So here, there are none. Number 7. She once bought a nearly new tent at the outdoor store. All right, so the first thing, look for ly. We see nearly. Okay, so nearly, there's no verb immediately after it. We see the action verb bought. So bought how? Nearly. Nope, that doesn't make sense. Bought when? Nearly. Nope, that doesn't make sense. Bought where? Doesn't make sense. And to what extent? Now, nearly is telling to what extent. Okay, so it's like very, but it's nearly, which means almost never. So here, nearly is an adverb modifying the adjective new. How new is it? It's nearly new. To what extent is it new? It's nearly new. All right, and we have one more. If you notice, we have an action verb bought. So if we ask bought how, doesn't get answered. Bought when? Once. There was one time when she bought a nearly new tent. So once is also an adverb describing the verb bought. Number 8. She will rather proudly show you the suitcase she bought for $1. First thing we do is look for our ly word. We see proudly has ly, right? So here, our action verb is show, so she will show you how proudly. Okay, so proudly is that adverb that answers how, and it modifies show. She will show you how proudly. If we look back up at 5, we see that rather is an adverb in 5. So we're going to look at rather in this sentence too, because sometimes words like rather and very, they almost always turn out to be adverbs. So, to what extent will she proudly show you the suitcase? She will rather proudly show you. So this here is another adverb that's modifying an adverb here, proudly. Okay, so here we have rather and proudly as our adverbs. Number 9. If you want a good deal, stay close to Denise. So we look for those ly words. We don't have any. The next thing we do is look for our action verbs. The first one is want. So if you want how, can't really answer that one. If you want when, can't really answer that. If you want where, still can't answer it. And if you want to what extent, still can't answer it. So we know this verb isn't being modified by any adverbs. Our next verb is stay. So stay how, can't really answer it. Stay when, still can't really answer it. But stay where, stay close. Close is an adverb modifying the verb stay. Stay where, stay close. So close is our adverb in number 9. And in number 10, she is amazingly skillful in spending and saving money. First thing we do, look for that ly word. So amazingly has ly. We're going to look for action verbs. Here we don't have is our linking verb, so amazingly can't be modifying a verb. So she is skillful. Skillful is an adjective that is describing she. Skillful to what extent? Amazingly. Again, this is another way of saying very. She is very skillful in spending and saving money. She is amazingly skillful. So here, amazingly is our adverb modifying the word, the adjective skillful. Amazingly. Okay, another thing that could help, if you Google lists of adverbs, you'll get tons of words. Some of them can be used more than one way. Some of them are almost always adverbs, like very, rather, always. Most words that end in ly, not always. That's not always the best help, but most that end in ly can be used as adverbs. So really, it's just paying attention to how something's being used in a sentence. I hope this video helps. I miss seeing you guys every day. Please don't hesitate to message me on Jupiter if you need help. Hopefully my internet is back up by later tonight and tomorrow. I did this video on my phone and I'm going to try to upload it to you guys as soon as I can. But yeah, hope to see you soon. Hopefully we can have a Teams meeting so I can see some of your faces. Miss you guys. Hope you're doing well. Stay healthy.